Good morning, my dear friends. In the last class, we understood by discussing elaborately government sector exemptions. Thereafter, we started new chapter reverse charge under the GST, where supply of goods under RCM. We elaborately covered with the amended provision supply of metal scrap by a unregistered person to a registered person, then the registered person is liable to pay GST under the RCM. That particular almost all there are 9 type of products including priority sector lending certificates. We understood by elaborating the points with the examples. There we highlighted you being a recipient paying the GST has to pay through electronic cash ledger. Now, is a very important pertinent to note here. When you're going to pay under RCM for a tax period, has to pay through electronic cash ledger without utilization of input tax credit, which may be eligible for you but not allowed to utilize. Very good. Now the point here is, assume a scenario. You are the manager finance in a X Limited. In the X Limited, you are a manager finance, qualified accountant you are. You came to know that there is your company being X Limited, registered person, purchased metal scrap from unregistered person, for example, 10 lakhs worth of the goods purchase, for example, my dear. On metal scrap of 10 lakhs, 18% GST, 1.8 lakhs. Who has to pay the GST? Your company being excellent registered person. Since you purchase the goods from unregistered person, your company liable to pay under RCM. Now, that purchase taken place, payment also taken place in the month of, let us say, February 2026. For that month, you have to pay the GST through electronic cash ledger by 20th of March 2026. Your MD is asking, hey Mr. Manager Finance, this product what we purchase for our business purpose, we are paying the GST and RCM without utilization of input tax credit. Also we accept that payment of GST 1.8 lakhs under RCM, can we avail the ITC? Your MD is asked you. You being a finance manager of that particular manager finance of X Limited, you said, yes sir, absolutely we can avail the ITC. Very good. Now, MD is asking, for the month of time of supply, February 2026, time of supply for RCM, going to pay the GST by 20th of March 2026. That time, that 1.8 lakhs, what we are paying GST under RCM through electronic cash ledger, can we avail the ITC for the same month of February, which we are going to pay the GST in the March month or not? Or shall we wait after payment of GST under RCM in the month of March 2026 for February month, and that after payment only can avail ITC, then utilize it while making the payment in the month of April 2026. When can I avail the ITC? You said avail ITC. When should avail the ITC? For the month of February, paying the GST and RCM 20th of March 2026. That time if you can avail ITC of that 1.8 lakhs of GST payment or RCM, or after payment to electronic ledger in the subsequent month, namely in the March month, avail the ITC and utilize the ITC in the month of April 2026. When should I avail ITC? Here we have clarification of the CBIC, my dear. Mr. Finance Manager of X Limited, if you are going to pay the GST under RCM for the month of February by 20th of March 2026, pay electronic cash ledger, the same amount can avail the ITC in the same month of February for your forward charge liabilities are there, you can utilize the ITC. Need not want to wait after payment of a GST under RCM on 20th of March and avail the ITC subsequently when you are going to pay the tax in the month of April. It is not so. For the month of February, you are going to pay the tax by electronic cash ledger. In the month of March 2026, very good, pay electronic cash ledger, and the same you can avail the ITC for the month of February itself when you have liability to pay forward charge. While paying the GST forward charge, this ITC 1,08,000 rupees can avail in the month of February itself, utilize while making the payment by 20th of March. Is it clear, my dear friends?
Yes, sir.
1 minute, Amma. 1 minute. I will come back. Sir. No. அவர் இது மேல அருள் பண்ணல சாருன்னு சார் முன்னாடி மேனேஜரு ஸோ அவரை வந்தாரு வச்சிருக்காங்க ஸோ இஸ் நாட் கமிங் சார் முன்னாடி கண்டக்ட் வச்சு நான் பண்ணிட்டேன் அவங்க வந்தாலும் வந்து ஃப்ரெண்டாக பார்த்து போவாங்க ஜாப் தான் சொல்றாங்க செப்பரேட் கூப்பிட்டாங்க So with this clarity, now we are going on to reverse charge, supply of services, list of services notified under the GST, which are presenting here one by one as follows. If you refer here, there is list of services right from goods transport agency to the level of point number 21, any immobile property services. To that extent, we have reverse charge categories, section 9, subsection 3 area it is under the RCM. Just like little bit hiccup is there here and there, since I have to take care of this particular area with greater responsibility. Just 1 minute, I will come back. Now, referring here, my dear friends, continuation, my dear. Goods transport agency services. First and foremost, we'll take up. Very complicated area and need to understand. First and foremost, what is GTA? Somewhat we understood in the exemptions. Transportation of goods by road in a GTA, in a vehicle where the GTA issues consignment note. GTA issues consignment note. Then GTA is a supplier of service. Then who is the recipient of service? Recipient of service is the supplier of the goods, being a consignor who paid the freight, or the recipient of that goods being a buyer who going to pay the freight is the recipient. as you understand section 2, subsection 93 of the CGST, which clearly refers that who is the recipient? Recipient is the person who is paying the consideration for the receipt of the goods or services. If there is no consideration involved, who receives the goods or services is the recipient. So, in the given case, the tri-party agreement, the three parties are there. One, for example, I am a Hanuman Limited, I am a GTA, I am issuing a consignment for supplying the goods of X Limited to Y Limited. X Limited goods I am supplying in my vehicle to the place of the Y Limited. X is a consignor, Y is the consignee. Then there are two parties are involved. For me, Hanuman Limited being a supplier of services of GTA, who is the recipient? Whoever pay the freight, either X Limited or Y Limited. For example, X Limited pay the freight, he is the recipient. Y Limited pay the freight, he is the recipient. So whoever pay the freight is the recipient. So in the case of GTA, recipient is important to identify, my dear. Why, sir? Because recipient liable to pay the GST under the GST law in the case of a GTA services. Yes, by default. If the recipient is specified person, who is a specified person, is the list available here for our reference, readily available. Look on the screen, my dear. Who is the recipient? The recipient should be a specified person. Who is a specified person? Also we need to understand. Who is a specified person? Also we need to understand. Look here. Recipient. Any factory, society, cooperative society, registered person under GST law, body corporate, a partnership firm which includes LLP also, maybe a registered unregistered partnership firm as the case may be, casual taxable person located in the taxable territory, we call these list as specified person. If the GTA provides the services to a specified person, by default it is under the RCM. Now, there are many big corporate companies entered into GTA business and they have more investment to purchase their own vehicles for carrying that goods carriage vehicles they purchase by paying the huge amount of the GST. They have much more credit. What they will do with that credit? If the recipient is going to pay the tax, means we have a concept of blocked credit. If my output supply wholly taxable in the hands of the recipient, supplier is exempted from payment of the GST. It is called as absolute exemption under the general exemption. In that case, supplier not paying the GST being a GTA, because RCM apply, recipient going to pay the tax. In that case, supplier is facing difficulty to avail the ITC. That means he is not eligible to claim ITC. Therefore, what happened, my dear, in the recent past, there are certain amendments taken place. In the case of a GTA, if they come forward to pay the tax under forward charge by declaring in a declaration form, then if the GTA declared I am going to pay the GST in the office of the Department of Network Portal, then this is not a reverse charge, my dear. It is a forward charge. Now here, I am not going to refer the exemptions. Reason, if the supply is exempted nature, neither supplier liable to pay GST, nor the recipient liable to pay tax. Only when is a supply taxable nature, who liable to pay GST by default for transportation of goods by road? Recipient. If the recipient is listed persons like this. Sir, recipient understood individual, sir. The exemption is there, sir. Sir, recipient is a government, sir, which is registered only to read the TDS, sir. Exemption, sir. Sir, GTA not issuing the consignment note, sir. Not a GTA, sir. Therefore, exempted, sir. Sir, the goods transport by GTA issuing the consignment note is following nature, sir. One, defense or the military equipment, or the newspapers or magazines, registration of newspapers, or it is agriculture producer, or it is the milk, salt, food grains, which includes flour, pulses, and rice, are organic manure, sir. Is it so? In that case, exempted nature not required to discuss here because no one liable to pay tax. I am talking about if the supply of GTA nature is taxable supply, who liable to pay tax? By default, recipient liable to pay tax. If the GTA says, no, department, I want to pay the tax, please allow me to pay the tax because I have huge amount of credit I want to utilize. Please allow me to pay. Like that, the GTA come forward spontaneously, declare a declaration. Then the GTA is liable to pay GST under forward charge only if a taxable supply. In that case, reverse charge does not arise. Is it clear, my dear? Now, the point here is, if the GTA come forward to pay the tax, there are two options are available, my dear. One, hey GTA, you want to pay GST? Yes, sir. Now pay 18%. It was earlier 12%. 12% abolished. 12% rate of GST as well as 28% rate of GST abolished with effect from 22nd September 2025. As a result, few of the services lifted to 18%, few have been shifted to the 5%. Now the GTA want to avail the ITC under forward charge to pay the GST. He accept voluntarily by declaring declaration 18% GST, avail ITC. Or you go 5% GST, not eligible to avail ITC, but the supplier only liable to pay tax, recipient not going to pay the tax, it is not burdened on the recipient. That option is available only if the GTA exercises the option, not a compulsion. If the problem centers like this, Hanuman Limited, being a goods transport agency, issue the consignment note, unrestricted GST law to X Limited, X Limited body corporate. Then X Limited paid the freight of rupees 12,500. Is taxable or exempted? Taxable. Forward charge, reverse charge, RCM, reverse charge. X Limited liable to pay GST on the freight. What rate liable to pay GST? 5% GST only by recipient. 18% not apply. That 5% GST what paid by recipient X Limited, he is eligible to claim to him as ITC? Yes, allowed as ITC. Here, the points are as follows, enumerating here. Just look and understand. The 12% has been replaced to 18% with ITC. Pay 18%, avail the ITC. Now, a detailed study of the ITC, there is a amendment has been taken place. I will refer with regard to ITC computation under the input tax credit chapter. Gigantic manner we are going to refer the GST ITC chapter. With the case studies, case laws, notifications, and the amendments overcome the judgments of the High Court, Supreme Court. Interesting one. That will be later on. For time being, GTA RCM. Only when the recipient is a specified person. Who are they? The following. Specified person includes factory, Registered under Factories Act 1948, a society, Registered under Society Registration Act 1860, or under any other law, or a corporate society established under any law, a GST registered person under GST law, a body corporate established under any law, or a partnership firm, whether registered or not, including AOP, association of persons, body of individuals also comes into picture, casual taxable person. But casual taxable person must be a registered person. In these cases, my dear, the recipient liable to pay GST if the supplier not opted to pay the GST under the forward charge. A declaration should be given well before the commencement of the financial year in general by the GTA. Here there is a provision here. If the GTA commencing a new business or crossing registration threshold limit any financial year will be allowed to exercise the option to pay the GST under the forward charge mechanism during the year in which it commences new business or crosses the registration threshold limit within 45 days from the date of applying for registration or 1 month from the date of obtaining registration, whichever is later, within which you have to exercise the option to pay forward charge if you are newly getting registered under GST law. Is it clearer, my dear? Whichever is later, 45 days from the date of applying for registration or within 1 month from the date of obtaining the certificate of registration, whichever is later, within which you have to access the option to pay the GST and forward charge if you newly registered person under GST law. If you are already registered person who is switching over to forward charge scheme, in that case you have to give before the commencement of the financial year, as simple as that. This annexer 5 is the declaration. Annexer 5. The option, I will say that here, the option to avail. The option by GTA to pay GST and forward charge on the service supplied by it during a financial year shall be exercised by making a declaration annexer 5 on or before 31st May 2023 for the financial year. That is what they given initially. However, GTA commencing new business or crossing the registration threshold limit during any financial year will be allowed to exercise the option to pay GST under forward charge mechanism during the year in which it commences new business or crossing the registration threshold limit within 45 days from the date of applying for registration or within 1 month from the date of obtaining the certificate of registration among the 2 dates, whichever is later, within which you have to opt for forward charge mechanism. You get my point, my dear friends. Further, first point is clear. Now coming to second point, arbitral tribunal services or advocate services. I told you exemptions. If arbitral tribunal or advocate, form of advocate, senior advocate provide these services to a person other than the business entity, exempted, or to a business entity also be exempted whose aggregate turnover in the previous year not exceeded threshold limit for registration, then when taxable, my dear, arbitral tribunal provide the services, advocate provide the services, senior advocate provide services to a business entity whose aggregate turnover in the previous year exceeded threshold limit for registration, then in the current year the supply of services by advocate, arbitral tribunal or senior advocate is taxable in the hands of the recipient, namely business entity liable to pay tax. Now I wanted to ask you a doubt. I think my beloved friends will answer to me. Yes. X Private Limited, manufacturing of laptops, incorporated 1st April 2026. They registered under GST law. April month turnover 80 crores. During the month of April 2026, X Limited received senior advocate services for rupees 5 lakhs. Is it forward charge, reverse charge? Is it taxable or exempted?
Exempted.
Exempted? Why, sir?
Previous year turnover.
That's it. Excellent. Hats off to the answer. Previous year turnover since not exceeded threshold for registration. In the current year, the year in which incorporated, they receive the services from senior advocate 5 lakhs, absolutely exempted. If exemption is there, my dear, question of FCM or RCM does not arise. Moving on to further. Sponsorship services. Look here, sponsorship services. Point number 3, I would like to bring to a notice. Point number 3. Here, this one. Sponsorship services. Sponsorship services taxable supplied by any person other than body corporate in India to the recipient The recipient, the service supplied to a body corporate or a partnership firm located in taxable territory, the recipient is liable to pay the tax. See, amendment taking place here. With effect from 16th January 2025, supplier, any person. Now, from 16th January 2025, that any person should be other than body corporate. Provide the sponsorship services to strictly recipient, a body corporate or a partnership firm, then only it is under RCM. Anything is misplaced, not RCM, is FCM. Supplier should be any person. Provide the sponsorship services other than a body corporate. Means it should not be PVT or LTD, not incorporated in the Companies Act, not a body corporate. It may be a partnership firm, it may be LLP, it may be sole proprietorship concern, it may be HUF, it may be AOP, it may be BOI, as the case may be, or it may be a society, it may be a trust, whatnot, but not body corporate. If they provide these services to recipient, recipient must be body corporate. If not, a partnership firm. Whenever I say partnership firm, firm includes LLP located in the taxable territory. Then RCM apply. Sir, body corporate, sir, recipient 100%, sir. Is it so? Get registered. Compulsory registration. You getting my point? I will present like this. Examples. Very important to note, my dear. Very important, sir. These questions are there in the examination point of view, will twist you like anything in the examination. They are going to mill this in the examination. Here, look and understand. Example. There are so many examples. Example 1. Sponsorship service. You know sponsorship services, my dear? The moment you open the TV and all, or any mobile and all, this program brought to you by this, sponsored by that and this. Few sponsorship services are exempted. The national games sponsorship, we are understood sponsorship exemptions. That exemptions are exempted. That is not there. That is not we are referring here. Taxable services of sponsorship. For example, leather jewelry sponsoring dash a particular serial. ये रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है? A sponsorship made by leather jewelry. In between of serial, new brands of jewelry coming, and that MD of leather jewelry coming. డబ్బులు ఎవరికి ఊరికే రావు. మీనింగ్ వాట్? దుడ్డు యారికి చుమ్మా వరాదే. యారికి వరాదే కష్టపడను. So like that he is making crazy towards his product to purchase. So that advertisement coming in between, how it is possible? That means this particular jewelry sponsored the serial by making huge amount of payment to particular media companies. So supplier of service is media, sponsorship. Recipient of service, like the jewelry, is a private limited? Yes. Is a partnership firm? If yes, taxable under RCM nature. This is what I am referring here. But the supplier should be other than the body corporate. So here, important note, supplier. Here, recipient. Here, FCM or RCM. I am talking about sponsorship. Taxable nature. Sponsorship, taxable nature. If the supplier, tell me, X&, recipient, LLP, FCM or RCM? FCM or RCM? Quickly, fast. FCM. Why FCM? RCM Raja, RCM Rari. ரான்னு கூட்டினா நான் என் செல்ல பிள்ளை மாதிரி கூப்பிட்டுறேன். அதான் என் ஃப்ரெண்டு மாதிரி. ரானா டோன்ட் மிஸ்டேக் மீ மை டியர். சார் சேயிங் ரா இன் த கிளாஸ். சார் சேயிங் ரா பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் யூ ஆர் மை க்ளோஸ் ஃப்ரெண்டு. ஆர் என் செல்ல பிள்ளை மாதிரி நான் கூப்பிடுவேன். நான் தப்பாக நினைக்கிறேன் ராஜா யாருமே. ஆமாம், இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்மா. ஃபஸ்ட் டைம் டெல்லிங் யூ. நான் ரொம்ப இம்ப்ரெஸ் ஆகும்போது அப்பப்போ கூப்பிடுவேன். டேய் ரா அனு கூப்பிடுவேன். கூப்பிடலாமா இல்லையா சார்? வித் யுவர் பர்மிஷன் அம்மா. தேங்க்யூ. அப்பப்போ அது வரும் நமக்கு வந்து என்ன பொல்லுன்னு கூப்பிட்றேன் அந்த மாதிரி வந்து தப்பாக நடிக்காதீங்க. பிகாஸ் ஐ ஹை ரெஸ்பெக்ட் அண்ட் with good regard on my profession and our professional students. So please come back. Having this, now one more point. Let us say X limited, recipient Y limited. F same or same? Excellent. Because supplier is a body corporate. Now ABC and company, a firm, recipient PQR, firm PQR and company, FCM or RCM? Sponsorship. Supplier other body corporate? Yes. Recipient is a body corporate or a firm. Then RCM. RCM or FCM? RCM. Then further, look here. ABC Private Limited. Here, X and Company, a sole proprietor. Then RCM or FCM? FCM. Excellent. Thereafter, Raj and Company is, let us say, sole proprietor. Raj and Company is a sole proprietor. Then the recipient of service is ABC and Company, ABC and Company, a firm. FCM or RCM? Excellent. RCM. So you can have this here in this manner. Suppose if I say that like this, one more point, last point with this, PQR and Company, a particular, let us say, firm of a particular firm. Here, recipient is Mr. Shiva. FCM or RCM?
No RCM, no FCM.
Why?
Sir, but it's not a body corporate.
Body corporate.
Supplier is not a body.
Supplier not a body corporate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Recipient also not a body corporate. Okay. In that,
Then Shiva need to register and pay RCM.
why RCM? Hey, yeah. No, listen, Raza. Look here in the given case. If the conditions are satisfied only, the RCM will come. Supplier yarma? Tell me, speak out. Any person other than
Body.
that is other than body corporate. Supplier other than body is clear? Huh?
Yes.
Now, recipient. Who is the recipient? Should be a body corporate. If not, a partnership firm. Is clear?
Correct.
Now, look here. In the last case, supplier is a firm means other than body corporate.
Yes, sir.
Supplier is firm means other than body corporate.
Yes, sir.
Recipient should be body corporate.
Yes, sir.
Here not so. Or recipient should be a particular partnership firm.
No, sir.
In the given is no. So the recipient neither partnership firm, recipient is neither the body corporate. Supplier only a person as a body corporate. In that case, it is not satisfying the conditions to come under the RCM.
Yes, sir.
But nature of supply is what type of nature of supply is? What nature of supply it is? Taxable supplies. Resultantly, it is dash supply, FCM or RCM? FCM. FCM. You understand this? அப்படியே ரஃபி சார் வந்து எக்ஸாமினேஷன் ட்விஸ்ட்டு இந்த மாதிரி போட்டு அப்படி போடுவார் டக்குன்னு. I know by solving how many question papers for the past 25 years, CA Institute, CMA Institute. The same day or next day, I used to upload in my website the answers of the, by video classes, by uploading the examination answers, keys, cracking the examination, questions, answers, I am uploading. I know what type of twist they used to bring into account. Maximum this. So you know, understand strictly if the condition satisfied only RCM Raja, otherwise FCM only. Be careful. Yes, without any doubt. There is no doubt at all. If condition satisfied only RCM. So sponsorship services, a person, any person, supplier must be, should be other than body corporate. The recipient should be a body corporate. The recipient should be a partnership firm. Then only RCM applies of sponsorship taxable nature. Exempted, I am not referring at all. Do not bring exemptions here. If the exempted supply means does not arise FCM, RCM, I won't refer the RCM chapter also. When the supply is a taxable nature only I am referring. Now, coming to government local authority services, as you have read that in the exemption chapter referred. Sir, there are 4 supplies. If supplied made by the government or local authority is dash forward charge. 1. What is that one? Indian Railways or Postal Department. Exemption I am not referring. Taxable only. Forward charge. 2. Services supplied by government local authority in relation to vessel aircraft. 3. Transportation of goods or passengers. 4. Government allows the supply services of commercial renting to uninsured person forward charge. Except this 4, all are under RCM. If not qualify exemption. Exemption not there. Then RCM. I referred already or not? This is what these points. But here one thing here is they added by saying that some points. Sir, government local authority which includes government, local authority, and added here parliament, state legislative assemblies, thereafter court or tribunal. This is called as RCM nature. Court or tribunal, how it is under RCM, sir? I will tell you. Sir, court supplied the services in relation to the court activities. Supply excludes court or tribunal schedule 3 activity. We know that. Now, taxable nature supplies, not supply excludes. The fee payable to a court or tribunal supply excludes. Now, if I paid some consideration to the court, which is not court fee, is a taxable nature under RCM averages. Sir, can you give an example? Plenty of examples I will give. Listen here, my dear sir. I will give the example. My name is Airtel Company. I approached Madras High Court registrar. Sir, we got so much of a request there is no proper internet facility inside of the court premises. Can you permit us? We installed a cell tower on the court hall top roof. Cell tower we are going to install, sir, to get a good communication to you people, sir. Sub registrar with his limits powers. Yes, we will permit you to install your cell tower on our terrace, but you have to pay some amount to us. You have to pay monthly 5 lakh rupees. Accepted. Now, court providing what type services, my dear? Renting of immovable property for commercial purposes. That is not supply excludes taxable nature. Who liable to pay tax? RCM. Clarification given by CBSE, amendment taken place in this regard. Airtel company being a recipient liable to pay the GST. So now please come back to this area. So all the four. Supplier is a government, supplier is a local authority, supplier is a parliament, a state legislative assembly, or supplier is a court or tribunal. Court or tribunal, whenever I say, it includes the Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission also, if they provide the service to business entity, and that too, the business entity being a recipient whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year should have been exceeded the threshold limit for registration. That is very important, no? That point is there. The first point I referred, no, if the aggregate turnover the previous year not exceeded the threshold for registration, if the government provides the services to business entity which is exempted, whatever may be service. But here, some exemptions, some exceptions are there. If government, Indian Railways provide these services, being government, Postal Department, government, if they provide these services, is not RCM, is a FCM. That I already clarified to you under exemptions. Further, my dear sir, very important area. Point number 6, you look here. What is this? Services supplied by a director of a company or a body corporate to the said company or the body corporate director of a company. Who is a director? Whole-time director, part-time director, nominee director, women director. Like that, there are so many directors are there. But managing director, whole-time director, when you say, for example, he should be employee of the company, then only he become a whole-time director of the company. If he is an employee of the company, provide the services in the course of employment to his company, namely to the employer, it comes under the supply excludes. Schedule 3, first point, employee provide the service to employer in the course of employment, not a supply. Supply excludes. Suppose if that employee is a director of the company, provide the services to the company as a director of the company, which is not falls under the category of employment nature. Example, my dear, I am a director, whole-time director of Infosys company. For example, I am a whole-time director of Infosys company. I attend the board meeting. I drawn sitting fees 2 lakh rupees. Who supplier? Director. Who is whole-time director? Supplier of service. Who is the recipient? Corporate company. The law here says, is it in the course of employment? Not in the course of employment. Upfront, I am telling you, it is not in the course of employment. How can you say, Mr. not in the course of employment? Because this sitting fees of 2 lakh rupees, what I have drawn from the company, is taxable in my hands under the head income from other sources, not under the head salary of the Income Tax Act. Resultantly, this particular 2 lakh rupees not in the course of employment. As a result, It is a taxable supply of services. We're going to tax under GST in the hands of the recipient, namely company hands, Infosys Company Limited hands, it's going to tax. On the screen, if you refer, one more clarification given by CBSE. Here, if you refer, RAM Limited is a nominee director in Hanuman Limited. Nominee director who appointed a corporate company who given the more loans to that Hanuman Limited. Ram Limited might have been given more loans to Hanuman Limited to safeguard their loans. Ram Limited appointed nominee director in Hanuman Limited. Hanuman Limited paid the sitting fees to Ram Limited, not to Ram. Ram is a director, nominee director, attend the board meetings. For that, the Hanuman Limited paying the fees, sitting fees to Ram Limited. In that case also be RCM clarification given by CBSE. Yes, RCM only, because supplier is nominee director, recipient is Hanuman Limited. A sitting fees. Nominee directors generally not appointing by the individual himself. Nominee directors appointing by corporate companies. Nominee director never be employee of a Hanuman Limited. As a result, this is the transaction covered with the RCM. Ram Limited appointed Ram as a nominee director in Hanuman Limited. Hanuman Limited paid the sitting fees to Ram Limited. In spite of that, RCM, no FCM. Further, one clarification given by CBSE. Look on the screen, this clarification. I am not reading this. You read it, you understand. Otherwise, a simplified manner I will discuss for your kind consideration like this. A simplified manner. The points here one by one as follows. Director of a company or a body corporate to a company or a body corporate. RCM. First point here. Look here, my dear friends. Bharat is a whole-time director of KK Limited. This is a KK Limited. Provided attend the board meeting and charge sitting fees 2 lakhs. Tell me, in the given case, who is supplier? Bharat is supplier. Recipient is a KK Limited. If so, is it RCM or FCM? Or no charge, no GST? RCM. Perfect. So, being a recipient of service, KK Limited is liable to pay GST under RCM on sitting fees of rupees 2 lakhs. Is clear. Next step. Here look, Rani Limited, Raja Limited. Rani Limited appointed in Raja Limited Miss Rani as nominee director. Who appointed? Rani Limited appointed Miss Rani as a nominee director in Raja Limited. And Rani attended the board meeting, received the sitting fees. And sitting fees paid by Raja Limited not to Miss Rani but to Rani Limited. In that case, also be RCM? Yes. In that given case also RCM, clarification given by the CBSE. Who is the recipient here? Raja Limited liable to pay GST. Being a recipient of service, Raja Limited is liable to pay GST under RCM on such 2 lakh rupees fees paid to Rani Limited by Raja Limited. Furthermore, clarifications here. Look here. Rani Limited, Raja Limited. Now, in the given case, Rani, who is a nominee director of Raja Limited, what she did here is, my dear, this property is there, no, my dear, this property, this Raja Limited property, this property actually owned by Rani, Miss Rani. Rani only is the owner of the property. She is the owner of the property. That property given to Raja Limited on rental basis. And Raja Limited paying the rent rupees 1 lakh per month. Now you tell me, who is supplier of services? Who is supplier of services? Miss Rani supplier. Recipient Raja. In Raja Limited, Rani is a nominator. Is it RCM or FCM?
FC.
Is FCM. Why it is FCM means clarification given by CBSE. If you provide these services as a director capacity to that company as a director, that only come under RCM. If you provide any other services other than the director capacity, in your personal capacity, if you provide any other services to the company where you have a directorship which is not under RCM, you being a director provide these services to that company as a director. In that capacity, if you provide services, that only under RCM. Clarification given by CBSE. And finally, the solution here as follows. Simplified manner to read this. Only those services supplied by director of a company or a body corporate which are supplied by him or her by her as are in the capacity of director of that company or that body corporate shall be taxable under RCM in the hands of the company or a body corporate, but not in the hands of the supplier. If you provide such as a director, as a capacity of director, in that capacity you provide services, only it is under RCM. Personal capacity, not a RCM. Now answer to me whether you have presence of mind in the class or not. Check a food for thought, my dear. I'll do many points like that. Look here, different level things are. I won't permit the student to think differently. Whatever you think, solution is there with us. So like that, I used to prepare myself before coming for class, even at this point of time. Look on the screen. Mr. Raj, a CEO, a CFO of Rani Limited, provide the services, supplied services regarding guide and monitor company operations and charged 2 crores not in the course of employment. He's a professional capacity, not in the course of employment, in defect. That is not come under the supply excludes. CFO, Chief Financial Officer of Rani Limited is Raja, provided some other different services not in the course of his employment to Rani Limited, where he is a CFO. Is it forward charge or reverse charge? Why forward charge? Excellent. Hats off to you. Presence of mind is there. So rightly you said, my dear, is a forward charge, not the reverse charge. Excellent. Got the clarity, my dear? You should understand supplier by whom is a director. Recipient is a company. Then in his capacity as a director providing services will come under the category of RCM. Further, my dear friends, points of RCM referring here. Look here. Insurance companies getting services from insurance agents, paying the commission. Insurance agent supplier of services, insurance companies recipient of services, insurance company being recipient liable to pay GST, which I am presenting here as simplified manner is as follows. Diagrammatic presentation. Insurance agent is to get collection of payment from the policy holders. They used to get the amount from policy holders. Thereafter, after that, the payment what collected is going to pay to insurance companies. Who is a supplier of service here for the insurance commission means supplier of service, insurance agent is a supplier of service. Recipient is a LIC. named insurer. Therefore, who liable to pay GST? Recipient. Insurance company liable to pay GST under RCM. Further, my dear friends, there is a case law which is relevant to note from the exam point of view, though at present specifically not asking the case laws at CF final level in the examination GST, but asking the customs law. And case laws gives the input to us. It may be well applicable inter and final, but not demanding to write the case law name. But CMA final, they are demanding to write the case laws. Case laws in the syllabus. But anyhow, concept only important for us. There is a case law called Oriental Insurance Company. What happened, no, my dear, in the case of Oriental Insurance Company? Department contention. In the said case, what happened? Department demanded the GST liability and the reverse charge on brokerage or commission paid to agent for finalizing deals with reinsurer, treating it as a insurance agent services. I will tell you the facts of the case. Oriental Insurance Company wanted to undergo reinsurance with some other insurance companies. They wanted to tie up to have reinsurance, and for which they appointed you as an agent. You please check who is the best insurance company with whom we can go for reinsurance. What you did as a commission agent, an insurance agent, you have been analyzed with your experience and knowledge, you brought national insurance. Then reinsurance has been taken place. Oriental Insurance Company paid reinsurance premium to national insurance. And for doing this job, Oriental Insurance Company paid some commission to or brokerage fees to particular insurance agent. Department says, is an insurance agent services, hey, Mr. Insurance Company, Oriental Insurance Company being recipient, you are the recipient to pay the fees to insurance agent. So insurance agent supplier, you are the recipient, you pay the GST. Insurance company said, sir, it is not under the insurance agent services, sir. Department not accepted. The matter went to the court, the tribunal. The matter went to court. Look here. In the given case, tribunal said, hey department, for getting insurance, insurance agent is compulsory. Then commission paid to insurance agent is RCM. For reinsurance business, a insurance company licensed by IRDA undergoing for reinsurance with the another insurance company also licensed by IRDA. For reinsurance business, commission agent not required to involved. They taken as a expert his services into account and paid the commission or brokerage. That cannot be called as an insurance agent services. Resultantly, it is not a RCM. If and if is a FCM, not a RCM. So RCM is not applied for reinsurance business where the commission paid to agent. Is it clear, my dear? Yeah. Further, services supplied by a recovery agent to a banking company or a financial institution or a non-banking company. Supplier of service, a recovery agent. Recipient of service may be a banking company or a financial institution or non-banking financial company. Located in the taxable area is sufficient. The recipient being a banking company, NBFC is able to pay GST for the service rendered by recovery agent services. I will tell you one simple example, directly live example, practical example, which is available in the study material of CMA final paper number 19 also, because I am the author for that, which is example as follows. Practical example, recovery agent. Reading the problem as follows. Ms. Sakshi Associates, a recovery agent located in the Chennai, paneled by State Bank of India, local head office, Nunambakam, Chennai. The following services supplied Sakshi Associates in the month of January 2024 are as follows. Fee for rupees 2 lakh 2 crores sorry 2 lakh 25,825 for supply of services in relation to recovery dues from the defaulting borrowers at the place of business or occupation, and if such borrowers is or unable to at the place of business, then at his or her residence. 2. Supply of services with regard to demand for recovery or taking possession of the security from defaulting borrowers, for which separate fee charged from the bankers 55,175. Find the following. It is the supply of service? Yes, it is supply of services. If so, who is liable to pay the GST? Who is liable to pay GST? In both the cases, the recipient only liable to pay tax. Point number one, point number two, both the cases. Both the cases are nothing but recovery agent services only. Acting as a recovery agent services. The activity is this, who are empaneled by the banks or Reserve Bank of India, as the case may be. Who is liable to pay GST? The recipient liable to pay GST. Recipient here is the State Bank of India, local head office, Nunambakam is the recipient liable to pay the GST for the 2 points 1 and 2. If so, who is liable to pay GST? Okay, fine, recipient. GST liability. GST liability where 18% GST, na, you have to apply on 18% GST on 2,25,825 plus on 55,175. How much comes here? Quickly, fast. 18% GST. Huh?
3,580, sir.
Okay. Yes, RCM liable to pay GST. Here, fee 2,25,825 for supplying of services in relation to recovery of dues from defaulting borrower at the place of the business or from his residence, as the case may be, is also be taxable supply, liable to pay GST. Both will attract the GST. Further, here I mentioned only one point, but one more point also is there. 2 points I mentioned. 2 points. Point number 1 and point number 2, on which GST 18%, you rightly said 50,580. Isn't it? Yes. Further, my dear. Supply of services by music composer or by photographer or by artist or the like. Supplier must be 1. Composer, 2. Photographer, 3. Artist or the like. Recipient of service must be a music company or a producer or the like, located in the taxable territory. Then only the copyrights given to use, not to own, right to use only given, is supply of services, RCM being a recipient liable to pay tax. How to understand, sir? Example. Look on the screen. A eminent director, Mr. A.R. Rahman, the Oscar Award Grahita, he composed the music, Hello Tune music, and given the copyright to use to Sony company in India, which is in taxability. Here, supplier A.R. Rahman, music director, Sony company, music company. So the recipient liable to pay GST and RCM for the supply of service rendered by Mr. A.R. Rahman in the given case. RCM applies. Further, coming to author of a book, supplier of services by an author. See here, supplier of service, Mr. Rafi, author of the book, indirect taxes, supplier. Recipient, publisher, local depository. Then the royalty paid to Rafi, to author, who liable to pay GST? Recipient only liable to pay GST under RCM. Recipient only liable to pay GST under RCM. If Rafi says, I have my own office, where big office is there. AC machines are there, computers are there, laptops we purchase for our staff, and I am preparing the books, manuals, that and this. In that case, I have huge amount of investment. I purchase the goods for my profession by paying the GST. If my output supply RCM means in my hands exempted, I can't avail ITC. Therefore, author is approached to GST Council by writing a polite letter. My dear respected GST Council members, I would like to pay the GST under FCM. If possible, please permit us, because we have huge amount of input tax credit, we want to utilize it. Then GST Council said, hey Mr. Rafi, you are a big person, having big, good infrastructure and all, you are 25 years of experience, you are big tope, you may be going to pay GST and forward charge. There are some authors who may be newcomers who may not be able to afford to pay the GST. Then Rafi asked, dear council members, if possible, give option at least to pay the GST and forward charge, like GTA. This is the right approach. Then the amendment has been taken place by saying that if the author spontaneously, voluntarily declared to pay the GST and forward charge in a declaration and informed department, then is FCM, not RCM. The declaration process as follows. Provided that nothing contained in the entry shall apply, means RCM not apply, forward charge apply, where the author has taken registration as GST law and filed a declaration in the form Annexer 1. The author exercises the option to pay the GST on such copyrights under forward charge. 3. The author shall not withdraw the said option within a period of 1 year from the date of exercising such option. The author makes a declaration as prescribed in Annexer 2 on the invoice issued by him in the form GST invoice 1 to the publisher. In the author is going to issue the invoice for the publisher by getting the copyright, the amount for which the supplier should say that GST should be mentioned in that invoice and issue. Then the publisher come to know, okay, GST is going to pay by supplier, I am not liable to pay, I am relaxing, publisher will relax. It is only when option exercised by the author, then only forward charge, otherwise by default reverse charge only. Further, my dear friends, you want an example? Example, we will just look on the screen and here answer it. Mr. Mohd Rafi has written a book on indirect taxes which is published by Bharat Law Publications of New Delhi. Is a fact. For the past 15 years, I have been did so. I have contributed more than 16 years I contributed, sir, for the book, paper number 5 of indirect taxes and paper CA and paper number 19. Together I used to bring CA CMA final book. 15 years means 30 editions came. Finally, now recently only I decided to drop, not to continue with that particular Bharat Law publications. Why, sir? What happened to you? You disconnected, means Bharat Law publications, very good publications. I do not know. That time, wrong back, the much more sales are there. Very good royalties they used to pay. Now the sales fallen down because of the soft copy culture has been emerged in the recent past. Hard copies are very less people are taking, and the sales badly impacted final level. Copies has been reduced, and the publisher started to go for commercial manner. Earlier I used to print books twice in a year, every 6 months, amendments applicable for the coming examination. With that concept, I used to publish 2 publications in a year. That means 15 years now 30 editions came. 30 editions came. Now what happened? Publishers started to say, sir, we go for yearly one publication. Yearly one publication means is indirect taxes. They said, sir, by not referring the commercial, I have contributed, sir. But I want to get a good name. The book of indirect is Bharat Law publication. You don't believe, sir. Referring by department people, sir. Commissioner of Customs, Commissioner of GST from Mumbai branch, one fine day called me, where is your books are availability? We are not able to trace in the market. I said, sir, sorry sir, could not able to bring. No, we are referring your book and myself, my staff. Oh, very great, sir. Now onwards, we are going to publish one publication called Rafi Academy Publications. I will supply the book to you, sir. Please send your address. He sent the address, Commissioner of GST, Mumbai branch. I'm very happy feeling that. But when you go for commerciality and publish it because of his point of view is correct. I'm not denying that. 2 editions in a year reduced to 1 edition. From his point of view is correct. But I am not comfort with that pattern. Therefore, I said politely, sorry sir, we have very good journey, long journey. 15 years means great. Henceforth, I am not going to contribute my copyrights. I am not going to provide to you to publish my book. Then I am going on my own publication because see a final my publication is equal to practice publication it is. That much information is to be bring in a simplified manner, look and understandable manner. But anyhow, now please come back. Look here, Mr. Muhammad Rafi is a written book for Bharata publication. Author who liable to pay GST? By default, Bharat Law publication liable to pay GST. Rework. If publisher is located in the New York, then who liable to pay GST? Publisher located outside India. Publisher located in India only, it is RCM. Outside India means then it is not a RCM. Then what is it, sir? Is it export of services? If comes into picture, then zero rated supply. No one liable to pay tax. Not the forward charge. Forward is only when supplier declared in the annexer 1 being an author, I will pay the GST. I have to intimate to department. Is it clear, my dear friends? Yeah. Further. Music composer not so. There's no option for music composer, Raja. But no option. Yes. Right question. Good question. Further, my dear. Is a pertinent to note here import of services. Need to understand import of services also be reverse charge. If not exempted. A blueprint I am bringing here on your screen. Import of service by whom? By non-taxable online recipient. Who are they? They are the individuals or the government. Import these services as for consideration. Yes. Is it OIDR services? If yes, supplier OIDR liable to pay GST under the FCM. If it is for no consideration, no GST. If it is no consideration, no GST. Come to the other hand, if the importer not a non-taxable online recipient, means not a individual, not a government. That means import these services by any company or maybe commercial purposes. If so, for consideration, yes sir. Then is exempted? Yes sir. When exempted? Suppose if I am a 12AA entity in India, charitable entity, import these services for charitable purposes, then pay the fees is exempted, no GST. Even for consideration imported. If it is no consideration, it is not exempted, then RCM. It is a consideration but not exempted, then RCM. Then for consideration, import any commercial purpose, import these services, any commercial person, a registered person in India, then for consideration or no. If it is no means, are they distinct persons, are they established outside India, are ready persons? If they are ready persons, schedule 1 comes into picture, even without consideration is a supply, GST RCM apply. Sir, for no concession import these services, and parties are not real persons, are not distinct persons, sir. In that case, no consideration, no GST. Is a blueprint and import of services. Just look and understand.
So what is this OIDA?
Online information database access retrieval. So simple, Raja. I will tell you a simple example. Available in the cloud to download and use. That means, for example, you wanted to pursue CF final, CMF final, IDT classes with the Rafi sir. You searching Rafi sir class were available through net. Now Rafi sir is shifted his residence from India to Hong Kong. Mr. Rafi, his family is living now in Hong Kong, but his profession is taking classes. He made recorded classes available in the cloud. You want to join? Rafi sir class available in the cloud. This is pay rupees 8,000. Then use your debit card, credit card, you made the payment, and the system software permitted to download the lectures. All lectures you downloaded within fraction of seconds. Now, first lecture, the moment you click, Rafi sir coming and standing. Hi, hello, how are you? How you got it? The available in the cloud. System software itself taken the care to provide the services. By the time you made the payment, a invoice has been issued by the system software to your mail ID. Your registration is confirmed. 6 months validity, all the lectures. Each lecture you can watch for 2 times. The book will be sent to your mail ID, soft copy. Like that, system software himself taken care to provide the services through cloud, through internet, is known as OIDR services. Now come back. Look here, for example, OIDR services. Who is there? The school children. We call them non-taxable online recipients. If OIDR is provided to them for consideration, OIDR will able to be just under FCM. No, sir. The supply is not OIDR, sir. Rafi sir sitting in Hong Kong taking the lectures in live manner. Now this is live manner. My classes to you is an online live classes, which is not OIDR services. If I am not here, class not there. Is a other than OIDR services. If other than OIDR services, who supplied by Rafi sir from where? Hong Kong. To whom? To non-taxable online recipient, the school children. Even if I charge the charges, qualify from exemption, import tax is exempted. If the same service is provided to a corporate company in India, to a particular education institution in India, a registered person in India, I provide services are same. Even OIDR services also provided to a corporate company in India is RCM. OIDR services for consideration to non-taxable online recipient in India, then the supplier OIDR will able to be GST exemption are there to OIDR services. Is it clear, my dear? Now, on what about the online money gaming? See here, online money gaming import of goods nature, but it's banned. In India, you are not allowed to activate online money gaming services. You can't import, you can't able to operate it. Online money gaming banned, therefore not required to refer this. Look here, important point referring. Transport of goods by vessel from a place outside India up to the Indian customs station of clearances in India. The sea freight is treating as import of services was charging earlier. Now this has been fully exempted. No IGST on ocean freight in case of import of goods on CIF basis. If I import the goods into India, CIF value, cost, FOB, insurance, freight, all together is assembly value to pay import duty, namely custom duty. Again, you lift from that CIF F separately as a freight, sea freight, you are going to charge the IGST unfair, set by judiciary. Therefore, not liable to pay GST on that particular sea freight. If it is freight, is form part of the value of imported goods. Get my point, my dear friends? A case has been referred in the given case like this. Sea freight not going to attract GST. CF value, composite supply, pay the GST, custom duty on the entire value, cost, insurance, freight. Again, should not charge GST on freight, said by the Supreme Court of India in the case of Mohd Minerals Private Limited. Further, following points furthermore is there. I will take up continuation. Can I take 10 minutes break with your permission, my dear? Just 10 minutes break. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Some refreshment will come. Shall we resume the class, sir? Yes, sir. Just give confirmation. My dear friends, we resume the class now? Yes, Amma. Speak out with me. You people are came?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We'll continue. Now referring to here, services by business facilitator to a banking company. Business facilitator or a business correspondent, as the case may be, also I can say that. Business facilitator or a business correspondent, as the case may be. Here, if we refer business facilitator individuals, business correspondents means corporate companies. If they provide the services to a banking company or a NBFC located in a place other than rural area is taxable. If it is rural area, you are aware of that, exempted. I refer this point: business facilitator, business correspondent, services to a banking company or a NBFC located in the rural area qualify exemption. If it is other rural area, it is attract the GST under RCM. Being a banking company, being a NBFC, liable to pay GST. That point already crystal clear man clarified, my reference to you people. Referring here further more points. Here, yeah, one more point here. Service by an agent of business correspondent to business correspondent also be under RCM. When the business correspondent provide the services to a banking company other than rural area, taxable, RCM. If the business correspondent received a service from subcontract person, then also RCM, the business correspondent liable to pay GST under RCM for the service rendered by intermediary. If you want, I will refer this with the help of the following diagrammatic presentation for your kind consideration is as follows. Dear friends, look here. Here there is a State Bank of India branch, which is Chennai branch. Chennai branch. If so, other than the rural area. Now, here, Mrs. X and Company is a business correspondent. Business correspondent. If they provide these services to them, is a supplier. They are the recipient. Who liable to pay GST? Recipient liable to pay GST. RCM apply. Now, there is a Mr. A who is a intermediary. If the intermediary, they provide the services to them, same, the business facilitation services, in that case he is the supply, intermediary supplier, they are the recipient, then RCM apply. Who is the recipient here? Business correspondent. This is what I wanted to say, that nothing else. Is clear, my dear? Further, referring further here, security services, very important, sir. Security service amendment here taken place, my dear. Security services. This is an amendment in the given case. Now, if you refer in the given case, you understand the provision. Security services supplier, any person other than body corporate. Sponsorship services, similar to that it comes, but different. Supplier of service of security services, security, manpower supply. You know, security is a manpower supply. Security services supplied by a person other than body corporate. Very good. Recipient must be a registered person located in the taxable territory. But the recipient registered person should not be a composition tax registered person or a person, namely government, local authority, government agency registered only to raise the TDS. The recipient registered person. That registered person should not be a composition taxpayer. If the recipient is a composition taxpayer, is a forward charge. Sir, recipient is a body corporate, sir. Which body corporate? X Private Limited, sir. Then fine. Registered person, sir. The recipient liable to pay the tax. Sir, recipient unregistered person, sir. Then it is not a reverse charge. It is a forward charge. The exemption not there for security services. For try to understand. So this need to analysis required here. How to understand the analysis? Very simple. Presenting as follows. Now look here. Security services. Nature of supply. All taxable, no doubt. No exemption, my dear friends. Now, who is the supplier? That is important. Who is the recipient? Also important. Then, RCM or FCM. I am saying taxable. RCM, FCM only I am referring. So, in that case, supplier, X and company, not a body other than body corporate. Recipient, Y Limited, is RP. RP na registered person. FCM or RCM? Registered person, recipient. RCM, not FCM. Very good. Then supplier, Y Private Limited. Recipient is Z Limited. FCM or RCM? FCM, not RCM. Why? Because supplier is body corporate. Supplier must be other than body corporate. Now, here, Mrs. ABC and company, a firm, supplier. Recipient, PQR and company, also a firm. Registered person, FCM or RCM? Excellent, RCM, not FCM. Further, Mrs. ABC and company, ABC company, supplier, unregistered person. Recipient, A Limited, unregistered person. FCM or RCM? Excellent. Hats off to the answer. That's it. Apply. Now, further presenting. Supplier, Mrs. X and company, a firm. Recipient is ABC Limited, registered person. Composition tax payer. FCM or RCM?
FCM is if XN company is registered.
X and company, registered person. FCM or RCM? Excellent. FCM, not RCM. Reason? There any person being a recipient, registered person should not be a composition taxpayer. If a composition taxpayer, FCM will come. Otherwise, no tax. Suppose recipient is a body government company which is registered with GST law, to pay only TDS. Also FCM, not RCM. So supplier, any person provided services of security nature other than body corporate to a particular registered person located in tax category is RCM. The registered person should not be a composition taxpayer, should not be a government to pay the GST under the TDS. With this, now please come back to the regular study where we are. We are here. Security services. Thereafter, renting of a motor vehicle designed to carry passengers where the cost of fuel is included in the rental charges. Supplier is any person other than body corporate and the recipient any person, any body corporate in the taxable territory located, then the recipient only liable to pay GST. That means supplier should be other than body corporate, the recipient should be a body corporate. Renting of a motor vehicle designed to carry passengers, the rental charges includes cost of the fuel, then it is RCM. Otherwise, no RCM. Further, my dear friends, services of lending of securities. Sir, selling of securities, neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Lending of securities for temporary period of time and getting the charges, getting the rental charges is a supply of services which is a taxable services under RCM. In this case, the lender is the owner of the securities, the recipient is the borrower borrowing the securities and lending the securities the business is doing. In that case, such a recipient being a borrower liable to pay GST under RCM, not the FCM. Sir, Puriyamati, sir. Sir, not able to understand, sir. You are going very fast, sir. Yes, sir. Need to understand, sir. I will give the examples for this. When I am going speed means what? I am going to bring a beautiful example, practical example. First of all, understand. My name is LIC. I have purchased Adani group of company shares with a huge premium. 10,000 crores I invested in the Adani group of companies. I purchased the shares. After that, at a huge premium I purchased, what happened? The Hindenburg report came against the Adani group of companies. Bad impression. Those prices of shares in the share market fallen down to the ground level, below the face value. Now I have purchased the shares of Adani Group being LIC with a huge amount of premium. What I can do? I am LIC. My investment is long-term purpose, not short-term purpose. Then that particular investment has no result, no dividends, nothing. What shall I do? I approach a particular intermediary. I approach an intermediary. In India, there are two intermediaries. One is Bank of India Shareholding Limited. Other one is NSC Clearing Limited. These two are, yes. Motor dalena. Sorry to disturb you, my dear. Okay, don't disturb me, please. Now listen, my dear sir. In India, there are two intermediaries who are taking the securities into their hand. There is somebody who owner of the securities can deposit. We call intermediaries. Bank of India Shareholding Limited, one is intermediary, other one is NSC, National Stock Exchange Clearing Limited. There are two intermediaries. They are as follows. There are two intermediaries who are for doing the securities lending and borrowing business purpose. They are intermediaries. Now, the Adani group of companies shares purchased by LIC. LIC is a lender of the securities. To whom to lend, they do not know. Therefore, they deposit the securities in the intermediary with the Bank of India Shareholding Limited or NSC Clearing Limited. There they deposited. HDFC is a borrower, want to borrow the securities which is deposited in the intermediary and borrowed and playing with that securities in the market, arbitrage activities, put option, call option, derivatives concept. They are doing that type of activity for 3 months, 4 months, and once that period is over, returning back the securities to intermediary and paying the borrowing charges to LIC, which is owner of the securities. These charges, supplier is LIC, recipient is the housing HDFC company, liable to pay GST under RCM by HDFC company only. The points I am presenting here is as follows. Look only on the screen and understand. Here I am presenting securities. This will be presenting in the following manner. I said to you, first intermediaries. Who are intermediaries? Bank of India shareholding or NSE clearing limited, where we are depositing our securities. Now LIC deposited, for example, in that particular place. Now look here, LIC. There huge amount of investment shares, the securities in another group of companies invested in NSE. I mean, deposit in NSE, which is a securities lending and borrowing company. Now, what they are doing here is, after they borrow that particular the security deposit in the intermediary, NSE is giving that securities on borrowing basis to HDFC. Securities borrowed by HDFC, and after some time, the borrower is returning back the securities and paying the lending fees to LIC 2 lakh rupees. Supplier of service LIC, recipient of service securities borrower HDFC. Who liable to pay GST? HDFC. For the services received by him, HDFC liable to pay GST and RCM for the securities lending services. Is it clear, my dear? Like that I will explain practical things. This is taxable supply of services. Further, supply of services by the members of the overseeing committee to Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India appointed expert group of company people, individuals like Shiva sir, Rafi sir, Gokul sir. They are the qualified peoples and well experienced persons, as financial professionals appointed by Reserve Bank of India as a group called as a overseeing committee. What their activity? Overseeing committee activity, they are verifying the banking lending process and reporting from time to time to Reserve Bank of India. For doing such services, the overseeing committee will charge to Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India making the payment to overseeing committee. Who is supplier? Overseeing committee. Who is the recipient? Reserve Bank of India. Is a taxable supply liable to be GST by RBI as a recipient of service. Got the clarity? Supply of services by direct individual selling agent. Direct selling agent. Individual direct selling agent who is selling the products of the banking companies. What are the products of the banking company? Housing loan, car loan, home loan, or the working capital requirement loan, or the professional loan, educational loan. So, making sale worthy by an individual direct selling agent. Directly, he is contacting the customers and making the banking products to sell, for which banking company paying the fees to direct selling agent, who is individual, supplier should be individual. Then it is a RCM, supplier is a individual direct selling agent, recipient is a banking company making recipient liable to pay GST and RCM, not a exempted supply it is. Further, my dear friends, renting of residential property, renting of residential property for residential dwelling to a registered person is a RCM. Accommodation services are different again. Accommodation services, forward charge. For example, Thai Mukambika hostels, my love, this nearby in Chennai only it is there. It is where, no, in the Mandavalli, it is Paris side. Thai Mukambika Ladies Hostel. They are providing their accommodations to the students and working women people. If so, it was considered as an exempted. The Madras High Court said, but thereafter they said amendment law. If the accommodations is offered, which is entirely different from this. What is here? Residential dwelling is different. Accommodation service is different. Accommodation comes hotel, inn, guest house, hostels, PGs. They are providing accommodation services where the continuous period more than 90 days and rent per month less than or equal to 20,000. exempted. If exceeded, anyone is not satisfied, taxable forward charge. But this is different. Residential property given for residential purposes to whom? To recipient. Who is a registered person? For example, Mr. Rafi own property, residential property given on rental basis to CFO of Infosys company. Infosys company making the payment to me. So I have given residential property for residential dwelling to registered person. Then who liable to pay GST? Recipient. Hey, you liable to pay GST under RCM. Namely, Infosys company liable to pay GST in the given case. With this, almost all the supply of this nature of 21 I have completed, my dear. I have completed all the provisions. I think I just recapitulate all the points. Have you covered all these things one by one? Yes, Gokul sir, read the point one by one. 9.3. என்னம்மா மைக் இல்லையா ராஜா? கோகுல் குரு குரு go ahead Raja, read.
Supply of services under RCM.
Covered. Next.
Tribunal or advocate services.
Covered.
Sponsorship.
Covered.
Government or local authority services. TDR or FSI or long-term lease of land.
Which not covered. Next.
Insurance services supplied by an insurance agent.
Covered.
Recovery agent services. Supply of services by music composer, photographer, artist, or the like.
Okay.
Supply of services by an author. Import of services. Transportation of goods by a vessel from a place outside India up to the customs station for clearance in India.
Covered.
Services by business facilitator to a banking company.
Covered.
Services provided by an agent of business correspondent to business correspondent. Security services, renting of a motor vehicle, services of lending of securities, supply of services by a member of overseeing committee,
Covered.
RPA, services supplied by individual direct selling agents to banks or NBFC.
Covered.
Whereas from 8th July 2022, services by way of renting residential building to a registered person.
Covered.
Any immovable property.
Any immovable property comes into picture, you have a treatment. If the government is a, see look here, if the government or local authority providing any immovable property for commercial purposes to unregistered person, forward charge. To a registered person means reverse charge. In that category, any immovable property category. That also I will refer here where it is going to be there, because we should not leave any point unless it is a meritorial point to refer. Here, come to this. Point number 21. Need to explanation. GST payable under RCM on renting of any property. Any property means any immovable property other than residential dwelling, means commercial property, from unregistered supplier with effect from so and so under the GST, RCM shall be payable if the supplies of renting of any immovable property other than residential dwelling is received from an unregistered person by any registered person. That means recipient liable to pay GST. It may be noted that if the supplier is having a turnover above the threshold limit, 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs, he would be required to register and pay the tax and forward charge, and renting of commercial property, RCM would not applicable in such scenario. You are aware of that. For example, my dear, Mr. Rafi is individual, has one shop, commercial shop, given to you for your practice, monthly charging rupees 20,000. Who are you? You are a registered person. I have rupees 20,000. I am an registered person. Why I am a registered person? Because my turnover not exceed 20 lakhs in the state of Tamil Nadu. In that case, who is supplier? Rafi, a registered person. Who is recipient? CF farm, a registered person. What I given? Immovable property for commercial purposes. Is taxable? Yes, under RCM. You will have to be GST. Is it clear? With this, I covered all the points except one point here I mentioned wantedly kept without my discussion. What is called transfer of development rights, FSI, long term lease. This and all long term lease means the lease is more than 30 years. Generally, government is to provide long term lease categories. They won't sell their properties. FDR, TDR, transfer of development. For example, I have my own old house, independent house. I given to a builder. I not sold the house. I given the right to develop the land on which he constructed 10 apartment, 10 flats, and 2 flats given to me, and 8 flats he is selling. Such a joint venture contracts where it is my consideration is taxable in the hands of the RCM, the builder liable to pay tax. FSA, floor space index, permission granted to construct 4 floors. Then I applied for the paying extra fees, 5th floor also permission given. In that case, the builder liable to pay GST being a supplier, the owner of the property is not liable to pay GST being supplier, the recipient being a builder liable to pay GST. This is not given much importance because of the construction nature contract, which is a complicated area and it is kept outside the purview of our syllabus of CA, CMA. It is not in the importance category, but in practice is a burning area. Every day changes are taking place. So simple understand. Transfer of development rights, floor space index, where the joint venture is taking place, the owner of the property is getting the consideration from the builder. Builder is liable to pay GST on RCM. As simple as that. Nothing more to be stressed on it. With this, section 9, subsection 3, reverse charge is completed. Of course, these points are here. 9.5 category. One, transport of passengers by radio taxi, motor cab and all will be referred in the subsequent class. 9.5 needs some attention. I already referred this point under the levy and collection chapter, but again I will refer here in detailed manner with some examples. Section 9.5 of CGST, only 4 type of categories are going to come in this category. I will detail manner refer in the last class. With this, now section 9.3 is completed of the CGST Act, and next class will be the new chapter. I am going to go with the time of supply after completion section 9.5. Time of supply will take up. See you, my dear friends, next class tomorrow sharply at 6:30 am. If time permits, 5 minutes here and there, I will intimate immediately if there is a delay happen from my side now, because I am giving the respect to valuable time. And hopefully from tomorrow we will be go up to 9 o'clock, my dear, because we need to attend the syllabus to complete in time. So see you by tomorrow at 6:30 am. Thank you, my dear friends. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.